Hey everybody, I'm Tara from Crooked Row, and today we're going to talk a little bit about garlic, but mostly Elijah and I are going to harvest garlic. So we have had a very, very odd spring and start to summer because our spring was like uber cool and everything was like so green, wasn't it?
It was very green.
Yeah.
Everything was completely green.
Yeah. And so now we are extremely way more hot than we normally would be in June, and I want to show you our garlic. I mean, we're hoping we're going to get a good harvest because look at this. It is already pretty dry. So that's kind of unusual for us because it's usually pretty, I mean, the outside leaves are usually yellowed, but this time even some of the inside ones are. So we're gonna pull it real time and let you see what we're harvesting because we don't even know what we're gonna be harvesting. So it just varies from year to year. Sometimes if we get bad bulbs this year, we'll just have to buy more in August and start our crop over again. I really, really hope not. So let's get in there. And guys, it is so hot. Tell them how hot it is.
It's like 80 degrees, like
no.
Above 80 degrees.
No, it's gonna be 94 today.
Oh.
And so it's already got that, I think we're at 75% humidity. So like you can see I'm sweating. My little girl over there was sweating. I mean, it's sticky. It's very sticky. So I didn't even attempt to like put on my makeup. We're just gonna get in there and get to it, right?
Yep.
Let's get going. For a second and show you. So some of these are tiny, like that is tiny. Can you see that? But this is not an elephant garlic, and that is a very good sized bulb. And most of these are pretty good sized bulbs. So apparently we need to send a little prayer up and ask God for cool springs, very warm summers. And we're not even done. So from this one 4 by 8 foot bed, this is what we got. So over here is elephant garlic, and over here is a mixture of hardneck and softneck garlic. I think it's mostly softneck though. I think we planted hardneck garlic over somewhere else. But so just this one bed would probably give us, not including the elephant garlic, this right here would probably give us at least 2 braids. We use 5. So we're gonna go over to another bed and start pulling there. So I wanted to show you this before we start weeding it. This bed in particular, like the rest of our beds are pretty okay. But this bed we planted carrots in, and you might be able to see them back in there, but once you plant carrots it's kind of hard to start weeding unless you're like truly on top of it like every couple days, which we don't have time for. So we're going to do a little bed cleanup while we harvest. You can see some of the garlic sprouting out. There's actually more back there, but we'll go ahead and pull those out and show you what we got. Okay, that is not good eats. I might reutilize this for seed, but I'm definitely not gonna eat that. That's just, it's not rotted, it's still firm, but this is gonna be a seed head for next year.
Silence grew so big it pushed a hole straight through the sky. The ground beneath us caved in every time. So God, hear you cry. All our cowards curling up in smoke like a flame into the night. We didn't mean to stuff
Okay, gang, look what I just found. A very, very long snake skin. And I broke it, so it's even longer than this.
I broke it.
Yeah, Elijah broke it. This must be, I don't know, at least 4 feet long. At least. Actually, it comes up to here on me. And it's still kind of, yeah. This is where it's coming on me. Wow. So it's probably 5 feet long at least. Jeez-a-loo. So this bed got a ton of water, and all the elephant garlic is kind of like, the necks are soft and it's separating out. So this whole bed will be used for seed for next year, because I don't think it's going to last very long, to be honest. So these aren't so bad. This one isn't good, but this one has a nice tight shell. And whatever you do, don't throw these away. These are little, I call them, is it bubbules I call them? Bubbules. But these can be planted, and then in a couple years, these will be plants. Just like this. These tiny little things will turn into that. So don't throw those away. Here is our absolutely epic garden harvest. That is probably the biggest garlic harvest we've ever had. It's huge. Okay, well, we probably have, I'm gonna say, Elijah, what would you say? 250 bulbs? Or
maybe more.
Heads of garlic?
Maybe more.
Probably, so about 300 heads of garlic probably, actually. And then we have our elephant garlic on top of that. And so as you could see in one of our back beds, we had planted garlic. I mean, not garlic. Well, garlic was in there, but we had planted carrots in there. And as anyone knows, you've got to keep the soil moist for carrots. And so that back bed had elephant garlic planted in it, and it didn't do well with it's healthy, but it's starting to like split open. And so we're just gonna cure those and use them for seed in the fall. But we had other great healthy elephant garlic that came up. Always save your little bubbules. Little bubbies. And what we're gonna do is, the reason why we're putting them on this table in particular, this is actually the table that we use to dine when we're outside. But we're gonna cover that for a little while, because you want garlic to get lots of circulation so that it can cure properly. And then I go through and I make about 5 braids for our household each year. I hope that I have enough for seed, and then enough to give my mom a braid too. So because we all use a ton of garlic, this turned out to be fantastic. Like, it seems like the golden answer is cool springs, hot summer, because this was really good. Now, you guys couldn't see this because the weeds were so bad, even though we weeded up there several times. I am not a fan of the black tarp. The black tarp is like, when Elijah and I pulled it back in the garlic that you guys were not a part of, sorry, the earth was like cracked, wasn't it?
It looked like Arizona soil.
It did, didn't it? That's a really, sorry, that's a really good way to say it. It looked like Arizona soil. Sorry, Arizonians. But I mean, we live in Ohio, so we should have great soil. And we do in our whole garden, except underneath that black tarp. And I've said this before in videos, that happened in another place too, that we put down black tarp. And when we pulled up the black tarp, our soil was crappy. And we had to take 2 years out to rebuild the soil again. I mean, I know that there's tons of people out there who successfully use the black tarp, but it doesn't really seem to work for us here. And the weeding is so tedious in every hole. Like, do you think that you would rather just like pull weeds?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, we would just rather pull weeds, I think. So anyway, but I digress. So this is going to sit here. I'm definitely going to do it for probably a couple days, and then I will make my braids, which I'll try to make a video on that too. I made a video a few years ago. Did we make a braiding video last year?
Yeah.
Okay. We did?
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe I'm making a braiding video every year, just to remind you to braid your garlic. Because we do. So, but if not, then you can see some of the older videos that we have for braiding garlic.
Fun.
This was one heck of a harvest for garlic. It is very, very hot. Elijah and I were sweating so much I thought we were gonna pass out, didn't you?
I thought I was gonna collapse, yeah.
Yeah, Elijah was like getting woozy. I was too. I mean, it's 100% humidity, guys. It's like terrible. I know I said 75, but I'm convinced it's 100 now. How about you? The meteorologist lied.
It's so hot.
It's so sticky.
Yeah.
Anywho, so you're gonna want to let your garlic cure for anywhere from, people do different things. Some people say a week, some people say 3 weeks. What you're really looking for is to make sure that they're fully dry. I'm gonna show you this one. That they're fully dry. You're gonna want to make sure that they have a nice papery skin on them, but that skin is dry, light and dry. When a stalk is fully cured, all of this will go brown too. So this is a hard neck garlic. Some of the soft neck garlic, it's all the same. You cure it the same. If you're going to braid, you don't have to wait for this green part to go dry. You just want to wait until the bulb has a nice papery finish on it. And so there's a lot of people who say, make sure and do your braiding while it's still green. I never do. Or some people will say soak it so it's more pliable. I never do. I actually like have no problems with my braidings. I just go ahead and braid. So when it's completely dry, because I don't want to ever see like mold or anything from the braid. So you can go ahead. Most people do it outdoors. A lot of people do it in a garage. I've known some people do it in a basement. I don't recommend that. I think that's too humid and you're not going to get any airflow that way. If it's supposed to rain and you have it outside like I do, we just move ours in, or sometimes we have placed tarps over them and just secured the tarps really well so that they actually don't get wet. If you are going to have very, very humid weather, you'll want to make sure that it's in a shady spot and that it's getting plenty of airflow, which again is why we used our dining table, because there's tons of holes on the bottom, so this should have super good airflow. Other than that, once it's completed, you can either braid it or you can cut the stems and put them in mesh bags. You will want to keep the roots, and now not big clumps of dirt, but like the dirt, like let me show you a good one. Like there's people who take this off. I do not. It doesn't hurt anything. It keeps rather well, unless you see like big, like, you know, things that are like, once it starts to have it, I just wouldn't take off hardly anything. So it kind of is what it is with garlic. If you want perfectly white grocery store bulbs, yep, you're gonna have to brush some of that off. I also do not snip these until they are fully cured. Just leave everything intact until your plant is fully cured, because the roots help in the curing process. And if you detach the roots, it's not going to cure properly, or at the very least, it might take longer. So that was our garlic harvest this year. I think we did pretty good.
Yep.
And so on to the next project at the farm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're gonna rest because I think we lost half of our body fluids out there. So remember, if we can have an epic garlic harvest, anybody can. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.